July 29th.
This is what we came for.
One Nation, One Day in Nicaragua was the event that changed my life. It changed the way I looked at things. It reminded me of the place I used to come from prior to coming to America. And I thought, maybe it's time for me to come home. It's been so many years since I left the Philippines. And all through these times, I've had questions in my mind that needed some answers. So before the end of 2017, I want to be able to get the answers that I've been waiting for. And I did whatever it took, paid whatever it cost, and arranged everything just to get me to where I needed to be. And my first stop was Manila, where I got to know the youngest cousin of mine that I never got to know my whole entire life. She showed me what life is like in Manila. And she shared with me all the struggles she had to go through to get to where she's at today. And for 25 years, I had no idea what life was like for them in the Philippines. And I wanted to know what happened to my best friend, why she ended up where she's at today. And I miss her sister so much. And it felt like being with her was like being with her sister. April 11th, 2011 was the worst day of my life. It was the most painful day I'd ever had to go through. And I'm just glad that even through this moment, being here in Manila, I get to be happy. I get to, make up for the times I never had. And to maybe have this moment to start all over again and make another best friend. It sucks, but life actually can give us. But I guess we just have to trust God, and just accept how things are like. And I'm glad. I'm just thankful for our Lord Jesus Christ that I get to have this moment. A moment that I can forever remember. And another promise I needed to fulfill was the promise I made to this guy that whenever I get to Manila, that I would go see him. And I sure did, right before I took off with my cousin and headed to Bohol to fulfill the other promise that I had made. This is my parents' home. They've had this house for 6 years, and for 6 years they've been inviting me to come, and I never did. So this year I wanted to be with my dad, and I wanted to be with my mom, and I wanted both of them to be happy. And having my brother there was a plus. I had no idea he was coming. I wanted to get to know Lee and Ray, Julian, James, Kevin, and his new family. and of course, their dad. I wanted to be with them and see how they're doing. Because early this year, the most important person in their lives had gone away. And I wanted to know what life is like for them without her. Ate May and her family was always there for my parents. So I spent as much as I can with them. And having my cousin in Bohol was also something I wanted to experience. I wanted her to get to know my family and my parents, and for my parents to get to know her.
So this used to be my school back in 1991. Like that room right there, that second room. The second room used to be my room. I was a third grader back in 1991.
And this was another thing I wanted to accomplish. I grew up in this school for a year, and I wanted to come back and be able to help out the kids, because I can relate. I know exactly what these kids go through because I went through it. And so if I can help out in some way, why not? But I didn't want to stop there. I wanted to go around, get to know the people in the village, and to see how they're doing, how life is like for them. And I spent days walking around, trying to get to know everyone as much as I can, because I wanted to see where I can come in and help out and make a difference.
Tired? I'm tired.
Tired.
Very tired.
I'm
How you feel?
dancing in
Feel hungry?
the dark.
I feel better. I feel good.
And having to get to know the people is the great feeling ever.
So right now it's about 11 in the morning. We are now heading to the houses. We have like a list. I made a list of people we're gonna go visit.
So I decided to want to do something for them. But I didn't want to do it alone. I wanted to gather some other friends who would want to do it with me. And I'm so glad that a lot of my friends loved the idea and came through and donated to be able to have this happen for these people. And as you can see, seeing them happy is the best feeling ever. And to be honest with you, if I didn't decide to do this and my friends didn't decide to come along with this, who would have done it? Who would have been out there making these people happy? And I'm just thankful for my Lord Jesus Christ for making it possible. And so I thank you for all of you who helped out. Thank you. So I left Bohol and headed to Kidapawan. It's another place where I wanted to be, to see this guy and this one, and to be able to be with my 3 sisters. In the States, we had 8 of our little ones that I got to love and adore. And now I have 2 more that I get to love as well. And this, having to see this, is priceless. And I wanted to see my father's sister, my Auntie Bilin. And of course, my 2 cousins, Juvime and Christine. And Julius and Jonalyn and her son. And my Nanay Laura, who took care of me when I was little. And my Tatay Buboy. And I got to meet Christine's husband, Chris, and their 3 wonderful children. And that's my best friend and my cousin, Cecil Kamapag. We grew up together, and I missed her. I missed her a lot. This is my old home, our old home. This is where we made the best memories when we were young. And now I get to go back to this place and she's not around. And this is my grandpa. My grandpa who took care of us in this little house of his back when we were young, back when I was 8 years old, 9 years old. Things are definitely not the same as they used to be, as how I remembered it. But it's okay, because moving forward in this 2018 and so forth, I get to make a new memory, a memory that will last forever.